Hi everyone.
Hi there.
So this week we are in this spot that we're sitting in. We're creating a cool little, I don't know, banquette.
Banquette, is that what we call it?
Yeah.
Yes, and we're going to build in some benches, a corner bench here along the side, along behind us for seating. We have a very small kitchen, and I think this is going to be really good for our how the space works, right?
I think it's going to be space saving. We'll be able to fit more people in this, especially with this small table. We have a leaf that goes on the table, but I think it's going to work out really nice for fitting more people around here and still giving us that space. So when people walk in the house from the door here, the side door, they're not going to bump into anything, and it's going to still give us the space that we need. And we have to be creative when we have a little cottage like this.
Absolutely.
So come along and see how we put this all together.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And if you like this kind of content, please give us a thumbs up.
If you'd like to, please consider subscribing, as it really helps support our small channel. It's free to join, and we really would love to see you come over here. So thanks so much.
So
let's
get
started. So here we have this area in the kitchen, and it is, I love it. I love our kitchen. I really do. And it's snug and cozy and sweet. The only problem is we can never fit many people around this table. We've had all kinds of tables. We've had an oval one for many years. We had a small square and higher topped table with stools. That didn't work. We had a rectangle. We had ones with leaves, one with not. We made a leaf for this table. We had bought this off of Facebook Marketplace. We love it. But, and we've redone it a couple times, but it didn't come with a leaf. It opened like it had a leaf, but it didn't have one. And the person we had bought it from had said it never had a leaf. So I'm guessing he also had either inherited it or bought it himself without a leaf. So it's in great sturdy shape. It just didn't have one. So Paul made one. It's okay, but it was kind of like whatever we had on hand. So we didn't make an official leaf. So because of that, and I'm still always on the lookout to see if there's a leaf that would fit this table. Nothing so far. So for now, this is our table most of the time. And sometimes we open it up with the homemade leaf, which is fine, especially if it's tablecloth. You don't even notice that it's slightly different. We don't have enough space even with all these chairs. We have the 3 right here. Here's my little pillow. That's for my back. I have that there. But without the pillow, just so you can see. We do have a 4th chair, but we use it as a desk chair because it's really just the 3 of us now that my daughter lives in her own home. So most of the time it's just the 3 of us, and we push it towards the wall. And it works great because, again, we have a very small kitchen. So it does work for us normally. But there are times when we have a lot of people and we don't have the space to keep putting all these chairs around. And now if you remember, we had built this coffee bar. It's great for this corner, and it gave us much more space in the rest of the kitchen, but it is a little tight here from this chair here. So we're trying to think of a solution. So we decided to build a banquette. So the banquette will, as we've described in the beginning here, seconds ago, we'll have something going this way and then something going this way, and it'll meet together in a little corner there. And we'll be able to put, we're going to put bottom cushion and then toss pillows for now. But Paul's going to build that, and that's going to help resolve whether we have a leaf in it or it's just going to be this small here, this small round table. And we'll have 2 chairs, maybe 3 depending on company, but 2 on a regular basis right here of chairs. And we will be replacing them, just not now. But we're going to create that bench so we'll be able to fit, if all goes well, 5 to 6 people just in these benches. And then 2 to 3 chairs over here, depending on the crowd. We'll be able to extend the table. Everything's going to just seem much better without taking up too much space. So the door here, we used to have a console table there. Our coffee station was over here, but now we have since moved it, and it's so much more spacious. We didn't want to lose that space, but we really need more space. This was our solution. So let's get started and see how it all turns out.
Here I am making the legs of the Banquette. I've chosen MDF for the main material. It's a 3/4 inch thick. I chose that because it's going to be very smooth for the seat. Like a plywood would be a little bit more rough. So for the seat and for the back, I wanted something nice and smooth. So I'm using MDF. I'm making these legs and using my pocket hole jig, so I'll be able to attach those legs to the seat bottom later. We had 3 extra drawers from our old coffee bar, and I just wanted to make use of those, and that way this bench system we're making is going to have a little storage. Okay, because this window shelf is going to be kind of the back of this this side of the bench, I need to extend this all the way to the wall over here. So I've cut this piece out to fit right here. I'm going to attach it, and then I'm going to caulk it and paint it. Hopefully it'll match good enough to look continuous. I'm just going to measure for the drawer slides to put these drawers in. Now all these materials were just from the old coffee bar, these slides and the drawers themselves. I'm just going to put these in. Alright, now I'm just attaching the legs to the brace on the wall. I have to go over this heater, that's why I have to use this design, but it seems to be working out fine. won't be using these handles on the drawers because they'll probably get in people's way as they're sitting there. My plan is to take the handles off and cut out a little handhole cutout, kind of an oval shape, which will A, allow you to open and close the drawer, but B, will also provide some ventilation because these things are closer to the heater. I don't want too much heat building up in these drawers, so I'm just gonna leave a little vent hole, which will also allow you to open and close the drawers.
All right, so we had ordered these 2 cushions from Amazon. These are 16 by 72 inch pieces of foam. There was a 2-pack and they were 2 inches. And we are going to put these on the seat part, and Paul's going to bring me a board in a moment that he cut for our banquette, and this is going to go on it. Fabric wise, we don't have a Joann Fabrics around us anymore. It's really hard to find fabric, especially inexpensively like Joann Fabrics used to have. So we remember a long time ago, Paul and I on a budget decided to use canvas, like a canvas drop cloth. And it's this hyper tough drop cloth canvas. It is a 6 by 9 foot and it comes in 1 pack or 2 packs. We chose the 1 pack because we know it'll be enough for this. What I like about it is it's a nice beige color. It's very tough and strong. We can just use the carpet cleaner to clean this fabric. For now, we're just doing the bottom seat cushions. We're not doing a back, we're doing toss pillows because we really wanted to keep the budget smaller, but also we kind of like the idea, that look of the toss pillows. If we don't like it or it doesn't feel comfortable, we'll get another set of cloths and 2-pack of the foam. So what we're gonna do is cut it down to size, and I'm just going to lay out this foam on the board in a second. And Paul and I are going to need to work together. Neither of us are sewers, so we are going to just try to make this right. The great thing about this is a no-sew project. So we are going to basically wrap it around the foam and the board, and we're going to staple it together. And then Paul's going to screw it in from the bottom on the banquette. I'm going to lay it down as is, but when it's done, I'm going to try to steam it so it gets the wrinkles out. I think it's going to work great. It's going to be great on stains. It's going to be easy to clean. It's going to give it a nice, tough, durable feel. So it's a tougher fabric. I like the color of it. You can do so much with canvas drop cloths. You can make curtains, all kinds of things. So we're going to do this now. Down the road, we don't like it, or we just want to go with a different fabric or a different feel, we can find, hopefully I can find a place that sells fabrics and we can do that, we can redo it. That's the great thing about this. We can unscrew this whole thing once we have it on there and we can refabric it. So this is what we're going to do for now, and let's see how it comes out. This is a bit bigger, even thicker than it, but I'm okay with that because I think it'll give it a nice cushion around this hard edge. And then with the fabric as well. But Paul's going to mark where it ends with a Sharpie, and then we're going to cut in with really good scissors. We have great scissors there. And you really want to go sharp. He's doing a really good job at cutting, but obviously if it gets a little bit raggedy, that's okay. Just make sure it's a little bigger than a little less.
Kind of a satisfying noise.
It is. A good cushion right there.
What I like to do is have the back side flush and have the front side sticking out a little bit.
Okay.
Because that's going to butt up against the fabric. Okay, so I'm going to cut along this way.
So sides, it's good to have longer. That's okay, and it's almost to the size we need. And then this is going to go over a bit, so we want enough when it goes over to really give it a good tight fit, and we want to make sure we have enough. It's always better to have, we can always cut, but better yet, just staple it down with the extra. I'd rather that than have it too short. So we're going to always err on the side of caution and have a little bit more. Like we said, we have the 16-inch cushion, so we're going to cut 36 inches of the fabric. So we know we have more than enough to allow for mistakes and to give us plenty of fabric to go around and staple. He's made 2 marks here on each side, and we're going to cut down to the 36 inch. So he's marked where the 36 inch is, and we're going to cut as straight a line as we possibly can down the end. Again, we've left enough allowance so we don't have to worry about it cutting too short. I'm going to leave the cutting to Paul.
And aim for that side, that dot.
We're putting it somewhat in the center, as close to the center as we can of the fabric, and we're going to.
Let me see here. 6 inches. Okay, we got to slide it your way a bit.
So we're going to pull this as tight as we can on this side, but this is the inside, the back here, so we're not worried about as much, but we still want to pull tight. We're going to just staple. We're not worrying about if this is pretty or straight or even. It doesn't matter because it's underneath. We're pulling and holding that fabric as we go. So the corners we're going to kind of pull taut here, and I'm going to, almost like you're doing a bed sheet when you tuck in and you do hospital corners, we're going to do that. And I'm going to kind of pull down from here and then pull this up just so we have a nice corner there, and then we're going to staple down. It will be thick, so you really have to have good staples and a staple gun. And then we're going to go do the other side. Not so fun on the knees. So again, I'm pulling a little bit, and I'm also doing that hospital corner, and then pulling up for this as well. What I'm going to do on this side is very similar. Doing the hospital corner again, I'm just trying to figure out how I want to do this a bit. It's going to be a little more straight on this side. So I don't mind doing that hospital corner, but I also want to have it where that edge on the front is going to look nice and clean. So we're kind of evening it out. There's going to be extra fabric here, so I'm just going to kind of pull so it won't be hard when we're stapling it down. We can always trim later if we want to, not that we need to. In fact, sometimes I've trimmed and ruined the fabric, so I don't want to do that. But I'm just having it so it did a hospital corner, but then I start straightening it out here. So hopefully it'll give me a nice cleaner edge on that end there. So let's do that. We just wanted to flip it and check it, and it looks like it's good. So again, I'm going to do that hospital corner, but kind of pull it. So again, it's more straight. We're going to start pulling and stapling as we go. So then we have a nice smooth seat. Okay, and we are doing seat number 2.
Not a time to be shy on staples. Using maybe extra, more than we think, just in case.
Okay, so that's with the cushions on. Now we've got priming and painting of the back upper here, the back seat, back of the seat here on this upper area, and we're going to prime and paint the trim down here. And we have to prime and paint the drawers, and Paul's going to make a notch out of the, he's going to take the handles off the drawers, and we're going to notch it out so we still have a pull that we can get in there and pull it open, but we need it to have a little bit of an airflow because we do have the heating vents down below. There's going to be trim work even on the ends here and on that far end over there. We've got the strip across the top here, so it'll match here. We're going to prime and paint that. And then at the end of all this, and once these are nailed down, screwed in as well, then once that's all done, then we're going to add some toss pillows and we'll be done. And I'm sure there's a little bit of details here and there, but that for the most part is it moving along here. Today I'm creating some artwork for the wall from these free canvases that I had picked up. I primed them and I'm about to draw on the design. I wanted to do somewhat of a peony or a rose, and I'm going to draw it as if it's coming from a certain angle. And I'm cutting out this gallon freezer bag. I cut out a little piece on the bottom and I'm filling it with joint compound. I wanted to create a piece of 3D art, and I'm going to use it to squeeze on over my pencil design to have it come out in a 3D pattern. At the end of all of this, I'm going to use a scraper and I'm going to give the actual inside of the petals more of a textured look. By doing this, you also help fix the cracking that can form at times. Painting this after will also help with the cracking, but this gives it a texture. So I let this sit for 24 hours and I've come back to basically paint with a white paint. And the white paint is an interior paint that we had laying around, just a classic white. And then I used craft paints to go over that to give it a different color. I had considered maybe going with a white paint all over, or maybe doing a black and white design, and then I realized I wanted some color for the spring season. So with that, I used a red and white together to create a pink, and then I did a little bit of dry brushing with white paint over that to make it even lighter and give it some dimension. I had some craft paints for the background as well. I was toying with, do I do green, black and white? Do I leave it white? I decided on the light green to give it a very springy feel. So in this drawer, I'm going to put all my tablecloths and runners and an apron that was my great-grandmother's. We wear that every year at Christmas time while we bake our famous recipes that were passed down generations. This one I'm very excited is going to be out soon for Easter. I'm getting very excited about Easter. So we are having a big snowstorm here, and The noise you hear in the background is the crackling fire, so don't mind that. But if you can see outside, we have some snow falling. I'm not sure if you can actually capture it on camera, but it's beautiful. But we are actually in a state of emergency and we are having a blizzard. So because of that, our order from Amazon is not quite in, and I'm not sure if it's going to make it. But so A, the video might go out later, or B, I might just have to show you later. But we are expecting pillows. I have some, and that's good, but I have more coming, pillows and pillow covers. These were from Walmart, and I have another set from Walmart. I'll show you in a second. And then I have a set of pillows, because we didn't do a back, we're doing all tossed pillows here. I have some from Amazon, packs of pillows and also pillow covers. And I'm keeping somewhat to this color. I'm keeping very muted browns and tans and grays, things like that. I also have coming some Roman shades here, and also some greenery for the table, some faux plants. So with that, I'm going to just start taking out some of the pillows and show you that. So we have some gray pillows here. I did take the tags off on the pillows because nothing's more annoying than having that, although these are still on these particular pillows. But I am going to get all this taken off. We're going to start putting at least some of the pillows up. And then I have some pillow covers. They did come last night before the snow started. And I have some that are 20-inch and some that are 18-inch. We're going to see how they work together. But I'm going to just start putting at least these two sets out. And I'm going to eventually have them just kind of mixed together. But I really like these pillows. So we have these, and we have some sage greens and some other tan pillows. And I'm just going to, when they come in, mix and match. If they don't all work on here, I definitely have another place for them. But I like having them mixed in together here. But I'll show you when they all come in. So we have this cabbage dish. I really, really love it, and I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just going to find a better place for it because it looks like it's, even though it's a really big dish, piece of art, it is really not big enough for this wall. I had some canvases that were long and thin, and I had a pack of 3. So I primed them and started painting them, but I wanted to show some color up there. So I really, really hope it's not too colorful and too pastel-y, but with the spring, I think it works. Will it stay here all the time? I'm not sure. But for now, with the spring coming, I wanted to put these up. Hopefully we like it. And the colors here are very springy, but the green and the pink go well together, but also goes well with our kitchen, seeing that we have green cabinets. So pink and green tend to do well together, and it'll give us a little lift of color in this spot. Hopefully it works well. If we don't like it, we'll change it. Free canvas, by the way, we picked up for free, and paints that we had laying around. We had joint compound as well, so the whole project was free. So we're trying to debate, there's the painting. Don't judge me too much. I'm not an artist, but I had fun with this project. The colors, I think, bring a little brightness and happiness to this area. Here's the problem. So we're separating them. So I'm gonna have them separate them to show you. There, it just almost seemed funny with the brick behind it. So when I pull them together, I know the whole point of that is to have them separated, but when I pull it together, it just seems like it makes sense. What do you think? Well, we're going to attempt it together because I understand the whole point of this is to have them separated, but as they're together, I feel like it, for me, it just seems better. But let me know what you think in the comments section, and we might change it. I don't know, but for now, we're keeping them together. Thanks, guys. So our pillows have finally come in. We weren't sure if they were going to make it because there was a delay, and then it was lost due to the weather, not to the fault of the Amazon drivers. I can't imagine what it's like to be delivering in this kind of weather, but thank you. Everything was kind of in different packages. So even though everything was ordered at the same time, everything's delivered at different times. We're still awaiting the greenery for the center of the table and our Roman shades. So I'm very excited for when that comes in. Hopefully it'll be in before the end of the video, but I wanted you to see the pillows. Paul and I really like how there's a little touch of the sage green, but that we have browns and tans and taupe, and we're very excited about it. So I think it gives a nice springy look, but also for St. Patrick's Day coming, and I think it's neutral enough to go for many seasons. But we had ordered new pillows, new pillow covers, and they finally arrived, and we're very excited. And we're just waiting on that greenery for the center of the table. But we do know going forward that we really would like to do newer chairs down the road, either covers or new chairs in general. But I don't know if I just want to cover them for now, because the gray is so gray against all these other pillows, and it's just too many things going on for colors. And I really am enjoying more the taupes and the browns and the light sage green, that the gray just seems out of sorts, and it's more of a cooler shade, and these are all nice and warm and cozy, and it's just ruining the look for me. We just don't know if we're going to do it temporarily just so it all looks nicely together, or if we're just going to wait when our budget allows for us to get new chairs and we just deal with it for now. So try to, in your mind's eye, picture different chairs for now, but so far we really like how it came out. I really love how Paul built this. I think it looks great. And right now we're looking for the greenery for the table, which is delayed. I really hope that makes it. And then these Roman shades are coming in on Thursday, and our video comes out on Thursday. So in allowing to edit and publish the video, we're hoping it'll make it in time before the video is done. So that's what we have for now.
So we got these Roman shades on Amazon. Really love the look of them. Fantastic, and also very user-friendly. You don't have to drill into your windows or screw anything in. They're kind of a tension thing. You put that in between, and then you tighten these screws here, and it hangs up there nice and tight. This one's up there already, and as you can see, it's secure. It only took me a minute to put it in. So pretty easy to use. Really like them. It's just the right size too. So let's go for number 2 here.
Definitely want to pre-measure those windows to make sure you
Yes.
have the right size. And also, so the top, it looks like it's Velcroed, so you can get to that
Yes,
to
exactly.
tighten it. And
Yep.
it slides over and you...
They give you this little plastic wrench for it.
I like the color too, and that texture is really nice. Has a linen look and feel. So one of the things we're discovering that I don't like so much is we do like the idea of cordless. The problem is when you go with cordless, it gets a little wonky sometimes. The second one in the middle there, the one in the middle, it seems to be a little cockeyed. So unless we had it all the way up, which some days we don't want to do that. So unless we have it all the way up or all the way down, it looks like maybe the left side on that middle one is down slightly more. So I'm not sure how to quite fix that. I imagine that's going to be trouble here and there. So that's the only thing I don't like about it. But we're going to see how we like it and sit with it for a bit. See if you kind of tug at it, which Paul just did. I guess you can kind of fix it. And a couple things bug me. Obviously, our little security camera has like a cord going across the window, and the sticker they give you, which you want, it kind of takes up the view a little bit. So despite that, I'm actually, and it does seem like he fixed it. It's not too bad, but I really do like them, and I like the color. It's I forget the color, but I'll put a link in the bottom if you're interested in these. And they have different sizes. The hook here, we have a hook up at the top here. I'm leaving it for now because I'm not sure if I'm going to hang a plant from that hook. Originally, it was there to help with the curtains we had there for the rod, but I am going to leave it because there's a very strong possibility I may hang a plant from that. But now let's show you the finishing area. I really like how this all turned out. So here we have the finished windows and our nice new window seats. I know the table's in the way, but I'll get a better view of it in a second. And then we have the painting I worked on. The whole point of the flower, it looks a little wonky on one side, but I was trying to do it where, and again, remember, I'm not an artist, folks, but I've mentioned in past videos, but it's just fun to create these things. I wanted something springy. This won't always be like this up here, but for the spring, I liked it. The green was bugging me. I wasn't sure I liked the color, but for now, it's nice and bright and cheery for the spring. I will eventually change the artwork there, but for now, it's fun. But I have, why it's a little wider on one side, the whole point was to make it look like it was taken from an angle. My perspective, I don't know, but I enjoy doing it. And honestly, isn't that art? It's supposed to be fun for you. And I love the flowers from Amazon here, these faux flowers. They're green mums. I'll post a link, as well as a white baby's breath, which I do have in other areas. I wanted to get it again, but that combination looks so pretty. There will be a link at the bottom for that. These pillows, I will post what I can for links. A couple of these pillows are from Walmart, but some of them are actually from Amazon. So the covers and the pillows themselves, I can put links for that as well. But this beautiful Banquette that Paul had built, I really love it. And these faux plants here and flowers, I've had these for a long time. I really don't remember where they're from, I'm sorry to say. And this beautiful metal jug here, oh my gosh, do I love that. That was such a find at a local flea market that we have in town that is always open, and it's just fantastic. We really fell in love with that, and I think that I got for $20. It was such a bargain, and it's really heavy and really lovely. And then those rain boots, I had picked it from Facebook Marketplace last year. I really wanted like a really nice pastel color, but that's the ones that they had, and they were very inexpensive. I believe they were for $10. Someone was selling them for. And these beautiful baskets Paul has found for free. Can you imagine? People get rid of baskets, and that's my addiction, folks. Pillows, blankets, and baskets. So sorry about that. You're going to see lots of baskets often, but I'm not really sorry because I love it. So this is the area. And like I said before, if you remember from earlier in the video, these chairs are just temporary. They don't really go anymore with this whole set, but that's what we had on hand, and we don't have it in the budget right now to change those out. But I'm really loving how it all came out. Such a great job Paul did. Very happy. And it's very comfortable, by the way, folks. Very comfortable.